Hey guys, welcome to the third episode of Sidetracked. Today we've got a pretty full agenda. We've got our album of the week we're going to talk about, and then we're going to have an interview with our special guest, Marilyn Brie. She's going to come in, do an interview, talk for a while, and then she's going to play a few songs for us on her guitar. So now that we've got that all out in the air, let's move on to our album of the week. It is This Is Happening by LCD Soundsystem. It's a 2010 record by LCD Soundsystem, which is one of the many projects of Mr. James Murphy featured here. He's a producer, he's a co-founder of a record label, he's worked with other artists like Arcade Fire, and for a while he was kind of like an iconoclast like symbol for like an indie movement. So very interesting guy, and now he owns a restaurant in New York City. That's what he's doing now.
He's got a very big resume.
Exactly, he does. So this was my recommendation this week. I was the one that chose it. So I'm gonna kind of put this on you for a second, Leah. Why don't you tell me some general thoughts?
Yeah, I like this album a lot. I think it was really unique. The word I would use to describe it, I'm gonna go ahead and say groovy, because people, first of all, people don't use the word groovy enough, and second of all, I definitely got like a groovy vibe from it, maybe a little bit psychedelic. Do you want me to go ahead and talk about my lyrics?
If you want to.
Yeah, okay, so there were two sets of lyrics that really stood out to me. The first one is talking like a jerk, except you are an actual jerk, and living proof that sometimes friends are mean. And I think that's, like, it's kind of funny, and like it was just kind of fun to listen to.
That's from Dance Yourself Clean, which is the opening to the album.
Which was one of my favorite songs on the album. Oh, for sure. Too.
I love the way that Dance Yourself Clean, like there's like a reprise for Home at the very end of the record.
Yeah, definitely.
I love that like circular thing.
My second one was a little bit more serious, which is actually one of the only serious lyrics, and maybe not one of the only serious lyrics, but one of the only, I don't want to say like substantive or whatever, but
it's very direct.
It is direct.
There's a lot of beating around the bush on this record.
But it says, we have a black president and you do not, so shut up because you don't know anything about where I'm from and you didn't get from your TV. And whether you agree with this or not, like this lyric itself, I still think that it's a really cool way for the writer to like voice his opinion through his music. I think it's a really strong lyric that is in the album, and it kind of like it was one of the few things that really drew me to the album, I'll be honest.
Okay. See, I think it's important though to know that like there's a whole bunch of like context around that though, because like the thing about LCD Soundsystem is they're from New York, but they are huge in Europe, and they've got a bunch of people that like cite them as like their biggest influences, trying to, at the time in 2010 were trying to be the next LCD Soundsystem and be based out of Europe and stuff. And so they'd be idolizing James Murphy and this New York group, but they would be, you know, talking down on the United States. And so that's kind of important to know where he's coming from when he says that. So my lyrics are, first one's from Drunk Girls. And the song, it's one of those things where it sounds like a party anthem, but it's really like the exact opposite.
You look into it, it's just so much deeper, it's got layers.
Yep, layers again. But drunk girls know that love is an astronaut, it comes back but is never the same. Like what is, that's like, it's like some, it's that lady that does I Will Survive. It's like that line about, and now you're back from outer space.
Yeah.
Yep. And then my second one is from I Can Change, and it's, and love is a curse, shoved in a hearse. Love is an open book to a verse of your bad poetry, and this is coming from me. And it's one of the many, many examples on this record of James Murphy like using that self-deprecating humor that he has and kind of making a joke, like a self-reflexive joke during the song. I love it. I think that's super interesting mostly because a lot of people talk down on his writing. And I think, I mean, there's definitely bits where his writing loses me, and there's other times where it like holds me tight, but I don't know. I think that on the whole, he's a much better songwriter than people give him credit for.
Yeah, I really like that song. That's my favorite song on the album is I Can Change. But if I'm gonna talk about my favorite lyrics from that song, it's one of the main ones that it says I can change if it helps you fall in love, just because That's pretty much what it's about.
All right, well, we're almost out of time. I gotta know though. I feel like we should at the end of these do this every time. If you had to put this thing out of 10, what would you give it?
I'm gonna give it like a solid 6 or 7.
Really?
Yeah.
This thing's like almost a 10 for me. If it didn't have
Really?
the song Somebody's Calling Me, this would be a 10.
Really?
Yeah. All right, well, that's about all the time we have, guys. That's our thoughts. We're gonna cut to a quick commercial break, and then Marilyn Brie's gonna do an interview with us.
Hey guys, welcome back. We're here with our musical guest, Marilyn Brie. Brie, where are you from?
I am from a little town called Green Ridge, Missouri.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Tell us about life in Green Ridge. I'm interested.
Life in Green Ridge, I mean, it's such a small town. Everybody knows everybody. So, you know, growing up, I went there all 13 years, and, you know, it's a cute little town, and just don't blink when you go through because you will probably miss it.
One of those,
So,
okay.
yeah.
Do you feel like growing up there kind of influenced the music that you play or the music that you listen to at all?
Yes, I think it's influenced it in a way where, you know, it's such a small town, so you don't get as many opportunities as you would hope for. So I think it's been a kind of a challenge in a lot of ways because, you know, if I were to go to a bigger school, you might be more known that way. So, you know, in that way, I think it's been a little challenging, but I think it's been a good thing, I think. I'd like to think so.
Cool. So, will you tell us what kind of music you do play?
Whenever I go up on stage, I usually just play my original music. I play just like a handful of cover songs, but I like to keep it mostly original.
Mm-hmm. Cool. And do you have like a genre you feel like you fit into, or like other artists you kind of aim to sound like maybe?
Well, I really love Avril Lavigne. You know, I love her style. But I think my genre is a little bit more. It's really hard to like put it into like a specific genre, but I try to say like bluesy kind of in a way.
I can definitely hear that.
Just soft and acoustic feel kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that you're an Avril fan. Are you
I
like
love Avril Lavigne.
new Avril or old Avril or both? All of it?
Definitely old Avril.
Old stuff,
you know.
I was gonna say.
I mean.
I can jam to some old Avril Lavigne. I'm not
definitely.
gonna lie.
The
But-
first
Isn't
two
too
CDs
bad, but-
are awesome. I used to listen to them constantly in the car.
So you Avril Lavigne clearly, but do you
Yes.
have any other like influences you'd say?
Let's think. Well, I mean, as far as influences, I would say my dad and my older brother, Bri. I'd say that they're the most influential in my life just because, you know, growing up, my dad would be like, you know, he's trying to teach me blues chords and stuff, and he's got his buddy there, you know, Uncle Duff. They would just sit around and play guitar like all the time, so I was like, you know, I'd always be there listening. And I remember when I turned 11, my brother was 16 at the time, and my dad was like, hey, do you guys want to do some guitar lessons? And I was like, no, I don't think so. And then you know, my brother, he decided to do the guitar lessons, and I feel like that is the most influential part right there for me because whenever, you know, I was so young and I watched him like grow as a musician, it was so neat because, you know, at first you just build yourself up and you learn more, and then he started writing his own music, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. So, you know, and whenever he would like make up a couple lines or, you know, a verse or something, I would always be the first one he came to. He's like, Brie, you got to hear this. And I was like, that was just so inspiring to me that I started picking up the guitar and started writing my own songs. So, yeah.
It's really
That's
cool.
awesome.
Growing up in a musical family, I feel like that would have been the coolest thing ever.
Oh, it was awesome. I love it.
That's
Yeah.
neat. So, do you play any other instruments, or are you strictly guitar?
I mainly stick with acoustic guitar. I'm actually learning, you know, there's not a whole lot difference between electric and acoustic, but, you know, barring chords and stuff like that, I'm learning that. So I'm going to move on to the electric here soon, just still kind of learning. And I've picked up the piano a little bit, and I've also picked up the harmonica, but that's pretty much it, yeah.
All right.
That's really neat.
Mhm.
If you could see any live performance anytime, like past, present, future, what would you see?
That's a
Futurist
good
doesn't
question.
feature.
Futuristic music too.
Wow. That is a really good question. I don't know. I'm curious, who would you guys see? Because
Oh man, flipping it around on us, huh?
man.
Okay, all right,
You go
it's only
first.
fair. It's kind of a cop out, but I feel like I want to have seen Nirvana,
Nirvana,
like at some
that's
point.
a good one.
That
yes.
is.
Nirvana. Led Zeppelin would be awesome.
Yeah, I'm
right?
split down the middle between Zeppelin and Pink Floyd.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like Elvis too, like being able to
Oh.
say like, man, I saw the King.
Frank Sinatra.
Yes.
That's
yes.
who I would want to see.
Yeah, that'd
Definitely.
be nice.
Etta James, Aretha Franklin.
Yeah.
Yes.
All the
Aretha.
old school.
Yeah.
That would be really neat.
Yeah. All right, that's fair. I'm not disappointed. So I'm guessing a lot of the names you just listed. Do you have anything like you listen to that not necessarily one of your influences, just what kind of music do you like find yourself jamming to when you're driving around? Or?
Mostly alternative music.
Okay.
Like A Day to Remember and Taking Back Sunday,
Oh, I
brand
love some
new.
Taking Back Sunday, brand
Spilled
new.
Canvas,
Yes.
and like that was the kind of music my brother introduced me to, and because I'd ride with him.
Yes.
I'd ride with him
I
to
think
school, and he's
everyone's
like,
older
"Brie, you gotta
brothers did
listen to
that,
this."
Yeah,
right?
everyone got into like pop punk music because
Yes,
they're
like
older
the
brothers.
Older
underground. Like the underground music you don't
Yeah.
listen to, like you don't
Yeah.
hear on the radio kind of
Yeah.
thing. So that's what I usually tend to go towards. Yeah. But I listen to everything, I love
respect
jazz,
that.
blues, 50s and 60s, and
You like old Irish step dancing music?
oh,
my
I
favorite.
do that at least once a day. I gotta fit
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
in
there
my
you
schedule. Yeah. So any kind of music, even
I can respect
country,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on the country for me. Like.
Yes.
Yes.
Same here. Same
Okay.
here.
All right.
Yeah.
We don't have to get
specific.
into. I don't want to start any.
There's a big difference
Beef.
between like Florida Georgia Line and Georgia Strait,
Oh,
but
yeah.
they're both considered country music,
Yeah.
so it's kind of hard to pinpoint it.
Yeah.
But cool. So, do you have any plans for your musical future?
I have so many plans. Well, right now, my goal is to just get myself out there as much as I can and just grow as a musician, travel to other places, get my name out. But as far as 5 years from now, 10 years from now, I hope to see myself maybe having my own radio station, and then that way I could maybe just put some of my songs on a CD and then play it on the radio, and then maybe, who knows who might be listening to it.
Yeah.
And hopefully 5 years, 10 years from now, I will be up on a huge stage with so many people in front of me, and everybody's just singing to my own songs, and just that's my biggest dream, is looking out into the audience and knowing that people are really enjoying my music kind of
Yeah.
thing,
For sure.
That's I can't wait. And speaking of that, April 29th, there is a festival going on in Steelville that I'll be playing at, and there's supposed to be 2,000 people. That's going to be a really big deal
Oh,
because
man.
I've never been in front of that many. I've never played in front of that many people before, so that's going to be a big step. So
Yeah,
That's really exciting.
That's awesome. You said April 29th.
April 29th,
All right.
Steelville.
Cool.
Yeah.
We gotta mark our calendars.
Yes.
Yeah,
Pack
definitely.
up. Dude, we should film it.
We should
Yes, that would be
Yes.
perfect.
All right, we got a project
love
now.
that.
take everyone
I
to
love it.
Steelville. No, that's awesome.
That would be awesome.
All right, so you're talking about playing a lot, solo acts and stuff. Do you have any bands that you jam with or anything like that?
Yeah, actually, in the past, I think it was about 3-4 weeks ago. Every other Wednesday, I get together with Cowboy Bart and the band Red Man at either Muddy Creek or East Pine Pub, and I just play in between their break. And so one day, Cowboy Bart, he called me and he said, "Hey, we're going to do this radio show up in Rolla, and just wanted to see if you want to come along." And I said, "Heck yeah, I do." So I drove up there, and I met a buddy of Cowboy Bart. His name is Jeremy, and he's like, "Why don't we just get a band going?" So it's been we've already played at KOPN in Columbia a couple times. We did the Nick and Bootsy show in Rolla, and we also played at Muddy Creek last Wednesday. So it's happening all so fast. But
Yeah.
and we just got the name for our new band. It's called the Marilyn Mayhem Band. And so yeah, we're working on a lot of things there, and that's who I'm going to be playing with April 29th.
Okay.
So I'll have
That's really
a full
exciting.
band behind me. I am so excited because just recently I've had a full band behind, like, back me up. I'm used to just me and my guitar kind of thing.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited.
No,
about
that's really
it.
really
cool.
neat.
That's like a super quick turnaround too.
Yeah,
3 or 4
that
I know
weeks
it
and you're
is.
already
I
doing
was
all this
like,
stuff.
whoa.
That's crazy.
So and speaking of bands, the first band that I was in was a Led Zeppelin cover band. It was called Blackjack Row. I was about 19, 20. I was in the band for about 2 years, and then I decided it's time to move on, kind of get my own original music out there. So I've been doing solo acts since then, but now I'm starting to get into this band, and I'm very excited about it.
I gotta know.
Yes.
Favorite Zeppelin song? I know they're all good.
There's so many.
They're all good.
I really enjoy playing I Can't Quit You and
Love that
The
song.
Ocean. Those
The
are my two
Ocean.
favorite, I would say.
Love it.
I mean, Dazed and Confused is always a
Yep.
good one
Yep.
too. So I'd say those are my top 3.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. No, I respect that a lot.
Yeah.
Top 3.
My top 3?
I gotta
Yeah,
hear
what are
yours
yours?
now. Now that
Okay.
you brought it up.
No order. Actually, my top one is Your Time Is Gonna Come. That's my very favorite song ever, all time. And then
Okay.
my 2 follow ones, no particular order, Going to California and Tangerine.
Oh,
But
yes.
they're so good. I cry every time I listen to any of them. But yeah,
Oh, man, gotta love the Led Zeppelin.
it's great.
See, I'm like criminally under-listened when it comes to Led Zeppelin. I need to like.
It's-
I don't
You gotta
think
release
I don't think I've
vinyls.
listed enough to even like give you a top 3 because I've only listened to like.
Well, there's so many.
Well, even like
Yeah.
the popular ones that everyone listens to, like Stairway to Heaven, like
Yeah.
even that is a great song. Like everyone says, oh, Stairway to Heaven is one of my favorite
Yeah.
songs. That's a good thing. It should be.
It should be, yeah.
All right. Well, besides the Steelville one, the concert, do you perform anywhere else, or do you have any more concerts coming
Like a
up?
regular place we could see you.
Yeah.
Actually, I try to go to the Bay every Thursday. They do open mic night. So I was gonna try and make that tonight because it is Thursday. And I also play there. They have the Warrensburg Showcase at the Bay. I play at the Bay like a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I try to be there like every week. So you can always find me at the Bay. Or, Muddy Creek Barbecue. I play there on Wednesdays every now and then. And I played at East Pine Pub a couple times. Those are my top 3 in Warrensburg.
All right.
So,
Well,
yeah.
you've been awesome. This interview's gone great.
Thank you guys so much for having me.
Oh yeah,
No
don't
problem
mention
at
it.
all.
We're gonna cut to a quick commercial break, and then when we get back, we're gonna hear Marilyn play some songs for us.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
So I'm gonna play an original song for you guys. It's called Prayers of the War. Of all the beauty in the world, there is also so much evil. Our land is facing tragedy. Oh, the nervous yeah, that's my original song called Prayers of the War. And I think I'm gonna play a little love song for you guys. This is called My Love for You. Dance with me in the middle of the room with no music at all. Hold me close in the middle of the night. Don't you dare let me go. Kiss me like you do, ever so sweetly. Oh baby, maybe you're falling fool, but this moment with you never felt so right. 'Cause my love for you, my love for you, burns like fire. This crazy desire, yeah, you drive me absolutely wild. You can count me in for life. Oh, I am mesmerized with those dark brown eyes, looking at me under the stars and the bright moonlight. Every time you catch me at a glance, you smile and you ask me why. I usually say I'm just looking at you, but I'm really thinking how my love for